Hello, everybody. My name is Riley Stephen Peters. I am a junior going into my senior year at Lakeside Christian School, and I am also currently a dual enrolled student in St. Petersburg College. Now, you may be wondering why I am working by myself, or recording by myself, in a project that's meant to be done in a group as a debate. And my reasoning for that is very simple. Throughout the month that we have had to work on this project, despite many attempts to communicate with my teammates, we had zero communication with each other whatsoever until it was too late. So I am moving on from this and doing the project by myself. Now, as for what my project is about, it is about the forms of conflict, or what can cause conflict that will cause a family to fall apart. And my two answers are rather simple: lack of communication and lack of cooperation. Now, a lack of cooperation is one of the worst things a team can have. It can cause arguments within the team and cause people to insult one another if someone is not cooperating with the rest and not doing what they need to do in order to make sure the team succeeds in their task. It can keep information that is vital from being given out, and that withheld information could eventually make it so that the team isn't able to do something that they need to do. It could lead to a not my job way of thinking, where someone thinks they only need to do what they need to do, and that leads to more problems with the team, especially if someone goes MIA or is unable to work. It could make it so that the team forcefully loses focus on what they need to go over or what they need to do because someone is being difficult in said team, and it could eventually lead to a toxic environment as constant fightings ensue, disagreements, maybe eventually changing goals, and eventually breakup of said team. Toxic relationships can also form with communication or toxic environment. Mainly because if you do not talk with your teammates, they will not know what needs to be done. And when they do that, it also leads to fighting. It may also lead to realization of differing goals or opinions or ways for people to do things, and that may lead people to question why they were even a team in the first place, most likely leading to a breakup. It can also lead to duplicating efforts, which is when somebody does not say that they're going to do a line of work, so another teammate does said line of work, and both teammates end up wasting equally amount of time and effort. And it can lead to missed deadlines, because let's say someone gets injured or ends up going MIA for a while. If this is not communicated properly to the team, then they will not know that this is happening, and they will assume that the project is still being done until it is too late to fix or too late to work out. An example of where this could happen is in marriage, because marriage is a team between a husband and a wife trying to live stable lives. Without communication and cooperation, or without communication specifically, it can lead to the family members feeling like they're living separate lives from their husband or wife. It could lead to the married couple misinterpreting something someone is doing or saying, which can lead to quick and easy finger pointers, which will most likely lead to arguments. And as for lack of cooperation, if a conflict arises and the parents focus too much on winning the argument and do not cooperate with the other to try and find a solution that both of them agree on, or both of them will be willing to go through, it may eventually lead to them eventually breaking up. Because if one of the parents win, the marriage has not won. Heck, 67.5% of broken up couples that have admitted that they have been divorced are from a lack of either communication with the other or a lack of cooperation whenever they end up in a fight. This information was gathered through Law Office of Patrick Markey. Now, another example of a team that could be, or another example of a team with good cooperation and communication versus a team with bad cooperation and communication would be the example made by Diana Kander of a hospital crew versus a pit crew. Now, the hospital crew focused on child surgery or child treatment in general. However, most of their treatments were unsuccessful, and the reason why is because despite all the doctors having the same goal, which is to treat these children, they were not working together and were mainly focusing on what they needed to do specifically. And when they did that, not knowing what the others were doing, they mainly tripped over each other, which led to multiple failed treatments that are affecting lives, that would go on to affect lives for the rest of their lives. However, 10 years after this became an issue, one of them came into contact with a pit crew. They saw said pit crew during a race be able to cooperate and through communicated plans near perfectly, and because of that, each of them knew what they were going to do, and each of them were able to act as a team. And when they did, the car that they were serving was able to get out of the pit stop in a matter of 3 seconds. The doctors, impressed by this, called them and asked them to give them pointers. And when they did give them the pointers of they needed better communication, they needed better cooperation, 66% of all of their patients had been able to been saved. And now the final example that I'm going to give of a bad cooperation and communication is actually quite personal. And it's about this project. It's me and my team. Me and my team were given a whole month to be able to complete this project, and despite that, we had zero communication until it was absolutely too late. All of us couldn't work together at this point, and it led to us doing the project on our own, which honestly is a great example on how if you do not have proper communication and cooperation from the start, it can destroy the whole team before it even forms. Now, if we look through all of the examples that I've given so far, and we add communication and cooperation to all of them, being the married couple, the hospital, and our group, they would be near perfect. The parents could do things such as uncover hidden needs or hidden concerns that they have for each other, and then work a way out, and then cooperate to work a way out of that. The hospital crew could end up actually finding solutions to these things if they would work together instead of tripping over each other, relying on only themselves. And again with the parents or married couple, defensive reactions, if communicated properly, can become calm exchanges where instead of winning and losing, there is a solution for both that both the wife and husband agree on that they can settle on. Now, this is all I have to say for this project. I thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a good day, and may God bless you. Goodbye.